We're starting just now. Deanna, thank you so much for allowing me to record, but you were saying something and it just gripped me. So I had to record it because you don't know what you're about to say. Go ahead and say it, say it. Go
Oh
for it.
gosh. So I was like locked in August and September and borderline like a hermit, trying to just like focus pretty solely on this and only this. When I was home, I was locked in. So boy, was that it?
Yeah. So you were saying now
Yeah,
there's a contrast.
yeah,
And you were saying right now you're finding it difficult to say no to things.
yes.
Okay. Say more about that.
It's like the incremental like no's of that like one extra like dessert my friend brought over when we made dinner that I would typically like say no to, or the two glasses of wine that I had with a colleague, I'm finding more difficult to say no to as we kind of progress into the next couple months. It's not completely off the rails, but those like incremental no's, I feel like are getting harder.
Yes. I love this so much.
Good.
And this is going to set you free. It's going to
Okay.
set you free, really, because that's the way it's supposed to be.
Mm,
You are currently faced with what is,
yeah.
and what is right now being our restrictions, our guards are kind of coming down a little bit because it is now officially the holiday season.
Yeah.
And there's some anticipation and expectation that during the holiday season, my no radar is not as strong, right? It's probably strongest January through probably April or
Right.
so is probably the strongest. And then maybe over the summer months, which is when we started, right?
Yeah.
Over the summer months, we came in, we took it, it was pretty strong, pretty strong. But at this point, with some travel and some work related stuff and life happening, and now on the heels of time changing and the seasons changing, and now the holidays, it's like, ooh, what I could say no to 80% of the time during the summer, 97% of the time in January. Right now, I can only say no to 40% of the time
Yeah.
because I've been in restriction for too long, Deanna.
Yeah.
I've been restricting and pursuing a goal for too long.
Probably.
So then what?
Do we stop or do we say no to more? Do we say yes to more things? I don't know.
Okay. What do you want to do?
You know, I kind of I'm at a toss up between it. I think it would depend on how long. If I could pick back up, I'm fine to spend the next 3 weeks locking in and see where we get to. Or I'm also fine to say like February, March might be a better time to try and pick this back up. But I'm not sure. I'm actually fine with either. There's a couple of different options that I can do. Um, at this point, I think I could go either way. I'm actually kind of looking for the right answer. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure what the right answer is.
Yep. And I think we talked about this before we left, was that upon the return from this trip, you'd
Yeah,
have a bit of a longer stint of focus time where you wouldn't necessarily be knocked off, right? And some of this fatigue, what you're expressing is fatigue.
yeah,
Fatigue with saying no, fatigue with kind of hyper focus on the nutritional aspect, hyper focus on the movement aspect. That is fatiguing
yeah,
mentally. Okay. So you're expressing fatigue. And part of the fatigue that you experience is also the bounce back fatigue of since
yeah,
we started the summer, you have traveled every month. Sometimes you've traveled twice a month. And I
yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong, but I think last month you might have traveled in the past 30 days or so, you might have traveled 3 times. So correct me if I'm
yeah,
wrong,
yeah,
but you've been moving. And so you've had a strong foundation. You had to break it to go travel, come back. Okay, let me build this back up, break it to go travel, come back, let me build it. That in and of itself is fatiguing.
Yeah.
But you're saying over the next 3 weeks or so, or hopefully through the end of December, okay, I got like a predictable period of time where nothing's really going to be bothering me and I can focus on this. Fingers crossed if work people don't call me somewhere.
Please don't call me. Please forget my number. And I think so. And to that point, you know, there's not going to be a ton of stretches of time where I am locked in at home. There are not
Yep.
going to be a ton. So I am fatigued at the moment, but I do
Yes.
also recognize that this is also a good time to lock in and
Mhm.
try and get that last, let's say maybe 5 pounds off or whatever it is, like wherever the chips fall, they fall. But I'd rather finish strong than, because next year is not going to be any easier. Next year is not going,
Yeah.
it might actually be worse with the travel. So this bounce back process is not going to get any easier. So might as well I'd rather buckle in and finish.
I think you've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
It's like there will never be prime time
No.
to do this. There will never be just a perfect opportunity to just sit here and lose 40 pounds.
No.
It's not coming.
No.
So what? Do we wait until it comes if it's not coming?
No, it's not.
You better get on your feet and walk. The train's not coming. Let's go. Right? Either way, we have a destination to reach. And with that in mind, if you consider the breaks that you've needed to take for work as like not necessarily only work because we have our system for when your work travel, right?
Right.
But when you have to take your breaks to move around or bounce back or whatever, if we treat those like breaks from dieting, where we actually do see that when you went to Morocco, like you took a diet break.
Yeah.
You were active, but you took a diet break. And that bought you another week or two of less fatigue, right?
Yeah.
Zero fatigue bought you a couple more weeks with limited fatigue, right? So I think in this sense, I'm with you that we actually should keep going.
Yeah.
Because of the number of breaks that we've had. Like, we're actually cool. We're good to keep going.
Yeah.
And hopefully, from the jet lag from Morocco, like you're feeling a little bit better. I know you're just somewhere else across the water.
Oh, I feel fine. Like
Okay.
fatigue wise, like it's more the flight was reasonable from DR. I got back a little bit later last night. I'll be fine by tomorrow.
Okay. So boom, there's no reason not to dive back in.
Right.
But then I think long term. Okay. So long term being fat loss will stop. We will plateau at some point. We said that we wanted that to be somewhere close to 170, which did you send me your weigh-in this morning?
No, it's 182.1, I think, fresh off the plane.
Okay. So most of that is water, right? Because we went back down last week. We saw like 178 or something like that.
We haven't seen 170 again since prior to Morocco.
Yep. So where were we? We were 178 before you left, right?
177.9.
177. Yep. So to think, okay, between now and January to pass that last little 7, that's easy. That's easy. That's a pound a week. That's not even really gas to the fire, right? That's like the moderate pace. So we can absolutely do that. There's no need to give up on that goal.
Right.
I think long term, when we revisit this again, it's like, okay, I've stretched this through December, then what in January?
Yeah.
In January, we need to kind of undo this weight loss fatigue that we've created.
Yeah.
By getting you off the stepper, right? You're walking right now.
Yeah, I am.
getting you off the stepper, increasing your calories, bringing back some normalcy to your routine, getting you better sleep, bringing down the cortisol, the fatigue, fill in the blank. So that's what that looks like, combined with a specific muscle building phase. So I know you love the boxing, but I might even have you consider the Fight Fit classes.
Yep.
Or switching out maybe a box or two for a fit or two per week.
Yeah. So my plan during that phase was to do one of the following, like increase my classes from three times a week to 4, and then supplement instead of so right now I'm doing 1 fight fit, 1 fit, 1 box. I'd add another fit in there maybe.
Yeah. Yes. I like
Or
that.
something like that, or just going to Planet Fitness, because if we're saying like it's more muscle building, like right now those other days I'm running or something like that.
Mhm.
So swap
Mhm.
that out for strength training.
Mhm. Yep, I'm with it. I agree. So, I think that's what we do. And I think when we get to that point too, having a conversation with, Denise about our check-ins, like, we won't need to meet every week at that point, right?
Right.
So maybe we adjust to meeting biweekly or once a month just to check the temperature on stuff,
Yeah,
and then allocate those other resources to making sure you can get that other class.
perfect.
But yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'll be fine after this. But yeah, I needed to say it of just like, damn, I noticed it last week.
Yeah.
Part of it was knowing I was going to be gone again. So it was kind of like almost like a not a what's the point, but like, damn, like I have to say all these incremental no's just to get on a plane and do it again.
Yeah.
And so maybe what I'm hoping is that now that I'm home for this stretch, that I can just be home and like that the fatigue is a little bit less because there is, in theory, more control.
Yes. In theory, more control. And I think during this season too, like as we keep meeting over the weeks, we start to pick and choose what you do say yes to.
Yeah,
Because during the holiday season, like Friendsgiving and stuff coming up, like, come on, we have to participate in that stuff. Life's too
yeah,
short to not participate in that stuff. So we'll pick and choose, what we do say yes to. And your home environment seems to be very, very controlled, but maybe there's some sacrifices that we make outside of home in terms of like, okay, maybe I don't drink for the rest of the year, or maybe I can have a dish, whether it's dinner or dessert, but not both, right?
yeah,
So we can figure out what we come up with, what we decide.
yeah.
All right.
Right.
But where you are is where you should be at the end of the year with as much movement as you've done.
Yeah,
This is where you should be. And the next, what, 8-ish weeks of the year to really put your head down and just get it over with, I think
yeah,
is where we need to be right now. So I'm with you.
yeah. Get it over with, and
Get it
then
over with.
we'll make the next cut a lot easier because at that point it's maybe 10 pounds.
Yeah, that's silly, right?
Yeah,
Especially after all you've been through with this one.
yeah,
Do you know how easy the next one's gonna be?
yes,
Come on.
yeah,
So this is like now through December, pause, February, March, come back, perfect timing to be done by June. 10 pounds between now and June, that's thoughtless. That's not even really trying,
right.
right? So yeah, we got it. We can do it.
I think where we've asked previously where where the stopping point is, and it's probably close to 160.
Okay,
And
perfect.
maybe.
Yeah. So let's try for 170 right now. Do all the things we know we need to do. And then with your Friday check-in, so I'll treat tomorrow like week 0 again, now that you're back. Treat next week like week 1.
Yeah.
And we'll make decisions from there. It'll be okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thanks,
You
Coach.
got it. Absolutely. You have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'll see you in the gym, okay?
In the gym. Bye.
All right.